We're back with some more of my new and used or vintage toilet seats. So this one is probably from the 20s or the teens, and it's solid oak, and like the whalebone or the Brunswick toilet seat that you saw in my first video, that seat would be just like this, only coated in rubber. This one was always bare wood. It was never coated in rubber. But you can, I mean, it's just beautiful. It's got the oak and then solid brass or bronze hinge, which I don't have any posts that really go with it. Maybe I could make some someday. I kind of used these makeshift ones from another wooden toilet seat, but I've just used them in videos. They wouldn't be good enough to actually use. And then you can see how heavy duty that hinge is. I really can't tell who made this toilet. I can't make that out totally. But it's impressive for sure. Much like that other one. Look at that shape. No, that's cool. This is an Ulsanite number 5. It's vintage. And being a round version, it's the number 5. If this was the elongated version, it would be the number 10. This one's in black. Has the original posts, the vintage style, and that's going to fall out. That's just a classic. That one's in good shape. I don't have an elongated one. Well, that's not true. I do have one, but it's broken, so it wouldn't stand up under use. But this one's pretty cool. Okay, now you guys have seen this seat before. It's in a couple of my videos, I think. That's a vintage Olsonite box, probably from the 50s or the 60s. So this is a number 10, so it's elongated, white, and I probably have to put the camera down to open it up. So this is the white Ulsanite number 10 seat, and it's basically a white elongated version of the number 5, which you just saw. This one's plastic, it's not rubber. It mentions the check hinge. What that means is that if this seat was installed, if you lifted it up, it would stop. It wouldn't swing all the way back until it hit either the wall or the tank or the flushometer. It raises up to a point and then the hinge stops. So that's what that check hinge means. Sometimes there's a set screw back here, like a bolt that you can tighten so that you can make it so the seat is stiff so that it can't fall down and slam. Sometimes they require that in hospitals, places where somebody might be liable to pull the seat and let go and lose it, but you don't want it to slam on somebody's finger or something. So if you ever see a toilet seat that's real stiff and it can even hang semi-open, it might have the self-sustaining hinge, I think is what they call it. But this one's never been used. I bought it brand new in the box on eBay. And this seat here is called a Kohler French curve. And the first one of these I ever saw came on my 1992 San Raphael. I'd never seen one before. And it was such a good quality seat that I cleaned it up and I left it on it. But it's, and this was an expensive seat. It still is. They still make it, but the new version is not anywhere near as good as the old version. I'll show you. So this seat, it is actually really thick, like really heavy plastic. I mean, it has some weight. The new version is hollowed out. It's not anywhere near as heavy. And then what I don't like about the new Kohler seats is their disconnect hinges that they have. It's not a bad idea, but the system that they use to hook the toilet seat up so you can take it off for cleaning, the ones I've seen, it just wiggles around something crazy. So I don't care for the new ones, and they're still expensive, so I wouldn't buy a new one. But with that in mind, I like to keep my eye out for deals, and I've actually found some old ones, so I grabbed them just to have them. I have a couple black ones because I have a black San Raphael, which is the seat that you usually find on that toilet, but not always, so it's a good seat for that. So it's heavy duty, and it's a good seat. It's actually really comfortable to sit on with the curve. I mean, this is one of those examples where Kohler products can be overpriced, and don't get me wrong, they've got a lot of bad ones, but they actually do and did make some really high, I mean, like really good quality products. And this is one that always kind of impressed me. This is my other black French curve, and I'm not going to unwrap it just because there's not really any point, but it's actually a little different style. I think it's from the 80s. See the sticker there? This actually does have a much older system for disconnecting it and taking off the hinges, although it's not practical. I wouldn't take it off just to clean it. But still plastic wrapped. It's an older logo. And what I really wanted to show you I'll cover up the sticker, but this is the box that it came in. And it's actually an older box. Like, if I had to guess, I would guess it's probably from the 80s, probably the late 80s or mid 80s. I have seen that older style French curve on a few toilets, and they were from the late 80s or the mid 80s. I actually saw a couple of them on some Wellington toilets at a restore up north. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, look at that. I never saw that date before. So 1988, there you go. Look at that. Yeah, see, the newer boxes are something like that. 4653, that's the number for the old French curve. Anyway, so the last seat I have, I think, is this one. This is a Toto, and the number is SS114, but again, it's an older version that's better quality. It's actually, I have one just like it on my Toto Drake, and it's a slow close, which is nice. I don't have any other slow close seats except these two, and it's held up very well. It's a good heavy duty seat, works just fine for what it needs to do. I will say it's not a huge issue for me, but the one I have on the Drake has been there for I think 2 years now, and the self-close is finally failing to keep it doesn't keep the seat from slamming down anymore, so it's back to a regular non-slow close seat, but works just fine. It's a good quality seat, so I'm going to keep it on there. That's not the end of the world for me. But like I said, most of this stuff I keep an eye out for deals on eBay, and when I have some extra spending cash, I've picked up stuff like this, so that's why I have stuff like this. But yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed this part of my collection, and I will see you later.